first game. At number 5 is UN Squadron. This game was released, I believe, in '91. It started off as just an arcade game, but then was later ported to Super Nintendo about a year later. It's just your standard side-scrolling shooter. 3 characters to choose from. One of them has more firepower, another one more maneuverability, another one more health, etc. There's 11 different special weapons that your planes can be equipped with. Anything from shooting lightning bolts or fire bombs or homing missiles and laser satellites. Crazy stuff. It's pretty awesome. There's also 6 different planes that you can buy, all of them with different stats, maneuverability, speed. Each one can equip some of the special weapons, but not others. You can tackle the missions in any order from an overhead map, which is pretty cool. And the bosses are ridiculous too, like giant stealth bombers or stuff. So this is just a really fun, arcadey little shooter that I had a lot of fun with when I was a kid, because the difficulty wasn't too punishing. At number 4, we have Primal Rage, another game that was originally released in arcades and then ported to a variety of systems, including the Super Nintendo. This is just your average kind of 2D fighter. I think it shares quite a bit in common with Mortal Kombat in that it's pretty violent and all the characters seem to follow some sort of archetype. Like you have your fire guy, you have your ice guy, etc. There's just several different characters. Most of them are dinosaur-like, and then there's a few that are like giant apes and other prehistoric beasts. It's pretty bloody. This game is only rated T for teen, but I remember when me and my brother used to play this together, killing the crap out of each other. We used to think it was so much fun. There's a lot of different fatalities you can do, which again are also similar to Mortal Kombat. Incinerating a guy with your fire, freezing him, then smashing him, just ripping him in half, etc. So this was just kind of a stupid, fun, arcadey fighter, and of course, at a young age, what kid didn't love fighting? The idea of fighting with dinosaurs. At number 3, we have Donkey Kong Country 2: Diddy's Conquest. This is one of the most successful games ever created for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It sold around 6 million copies worldwide, which is a big deal for the time. This just continues the success of its predecessor, the first Donkey Kong Country, and it's just a platformer game where you travel across 8 worlds, and I guess the plot of this one, you're trying to rescue Donkey Kong himself. This has really good graphics, I think, for a Super Nintendo game. It was, pre-rendered 3D characters, and the environments are just really vibrant and colorful. The music in this game is also just awesome. Very fun to listen to, energetic, and really goes well with the game. This game also definitely had was a lot more of a challenge compared to its predecessor. I'm actually not sure if I ever really beat it. I remember getting to the final boss, but I don't remember if I ever actually defeated him. It took me quite a while to get there, though. I'm playing back through this game again now. Popped out the old Super Nintendo, so I'm determined to know for sure that I finished it. At number 2, this is the Aladdin game for the Super Nintendo. This was developed by Capcom. There's actually another version, almost an entirely different Aladdin game, developed on the Sega Genesis. I believe it was by Disney Interactive and Virgin, but these 2 games are almost completely different, but the only thing in common they share is the characters and the name. But this was just a really simple platformer, and it was kind of proof this was back when movie games didn't necessarily have to always suck. But it was just a simple platform that just, did the standard of revolving around, moving to the right to progress, and jumping on your enemies to defeat them. There was a few things that set it apart. You could use apples to stun enemies instead of directly jumping on them and killing them. And this was just not a terribly hard game, so I was able to actually beat it as a kid, a pretty young kid, and I really enjoyed it though, especially the magic carpet level where you're trying to escape when the Cave of Wonders is, lava pouring out everywhere. Really fun game. If you could find this is one game that probably might have gone under some people's radar, but if you have a Super Nintendo and you could find this one, I would really recommend getting it. And here we are at number 1. This one's a classic, Donkey Kong Country, hands down my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. Like I said, this game is just a classic game. It set the bar for any and all future platforming games that would come for the Super Nintendo and anything beyond it. I just have so many fond memories of this game. Just the jungle theme, and just like in the minecart levels and the bosses and the music again in this game, like its sequel, is really awesome. Just this game has its own charm and stuff that you don't really find in your standard platformers today. And it's kind of sad also because this is back when Rare made some really good games, and now that since they've been purchased by Microsoft, they just really haven't. Yeah, they make some good games for the Nintendo 64 as well, but this, I think, was at least where their golden age started. This game's difficulty, I guess you could say, is somewhat easy now, but I just remember being really happy that there was a game that I could enjoy and beat as a young kid, being like 6 or 7. So not as hard as the sequel, but still definitely a really awesome game. And I don't care if you haven't played this, if you have a Super Nintendo, of course get it, but if you can't, find an emulator, find a friend, something, because it's a game that everybody, I feel like, should really play. Thanks for watching. I'm probably going to do a video for Nintendo 64 games next, so thanks for watching. Rate and subscribe. See ya.